feel the flow. We dissect the plot. The acting is insane. Laughing at the dialogue. These movies are a pain. Grab your popcorn, settle in for the ride. Our podcast is the place where bad movies collide. We're true blue fans of the RiffTrax crew, mocking cheesy films. It's what they love to do. From Plan 9 to The Room, we've seen it all. They'll make you laugh and cringe. They always give their all. True Blue Riffcast, we're your podcast hosts, talking about the movies that are the worst of the worst. True Blue Riffcast, join us on this quest to find the laughs in films that failed the test. Tuesdays at 10. Join us on this quest to find the laughs in films that failed the test. Tuesdays at 10. Tuesdays at 10.
Oh, hi, audience. What's up? It's Greg Sestero here to introduce you to the True Blue Riffcast, where they talk about amazing movies, bad movies, and everything in between. So you're listening to the True Blue Riffcast. Enjoy it.
Thanks, Greg. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the number one RiffTrax podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I'm joined, as always, by...
What's up, everybody? It's me, Dave. So I had to mute the Twitch stream there because I saw me come on. I was like, oh, wow. I can't be having this. It will be having all kinds of feedback.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
And I'm just like, I'm going to here, hang on. I'm going to send you a screenshot of how I look when I saw myself. Here, hang on. I just did a screenshot and I'm going to send it to you quick. And I was just like, and that's basically how I live my life. What happened here? Okay. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Karate Kid eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Citizen Yarn? How you doing?
Intended for certain audiences, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
I like how you're labeled even. That's pretty good.
Like, I am intended for certain audiences.
This is very
audiences
true.
that like garbage.
Or that like hearing an audiobook narrator read something so disgusting that he starts gagging.
Oh yeah, that's right. I told that so my audiobook narrator for Spaghetti and Meatballs. And I told him it was a gross book. I said, hey, look, this is really gross. There are really disgusting things that are going to happen in this. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's fine. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, sure. Why not? And he says that he's not normally squeamish and that his wife suggested that he send the outtakes of him almost vomiting while reading certain portions of this book. And it's so funny, and I wish I could just like share it with the world. I shared it with Jeremy, and Jeremy backed me up. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. Because and honestly too, this part that he sent me, I mean, it's a little gross, but definitely not like anything crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have the heart to tell him that it gets way, 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 way worse. In fact, I lied and I said, "Well, that's about as gross as it gets," and it's not true. It was a lie. He's gonna find out.
So maybe there might be a new opening for a new audiobook.
No, he's locked in. He's locked in. He signed a contract. He's got to deliver by September 30th, 2025.
Well, he's got plenty of time at least.
Yeah, he's not going to take that long. He's actually really, really good.
Well, I had to get a new phone yesterday.
Oh, you got a new phone?
I had to. My
I seem to remember another story about you and phones, and things didn't go very well with Google.
that was replacing one of Joy's devices after it broke, and then they sent us like another broke one, and then they were taking forever to send us another one back in replacement of that. But no, my dog Betty, our small horse of a dog, decided to try and stand up as I was walking over her because she was laying across the floor.
Uh-huh.
And she kind of tripped me. And we have a brick hearth in our living room, and the phone went smashy smashy on the brick hearth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was fun and exciting. I don't know if it'll show good, but
oh
there's
my
the
God. That's
there's
like as bad as my windshield that day.
the screen.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
What is it about phones? Like, you remember like 15 years ago? Yeah, we had iPhones and smartphones, but we had the option to have just regular phones that weren't made of glass. We don't have that anymore.
No, they're like glass all over now.
Yeah. And they cost more than a PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I don't know, man. I was thinking today, it's like, what would you do if you suddenly woke up and it was February 2010? And I was like, I would throw a party.
I would take any amount of time in the before times again.
Well, I mean, I think there would have to be an adjustment period, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever hear people talk about, like, oh, I want to go back and do high school again.
Nope.
With all the knowledge I have now.
Nope.
And just everything different. I don't know, man. If I woke up and it was the year 1995 and it's just feel like, yep, you got to do it all again, I would be so mad. I have no nostalgia for high school. Almost as little nostalgia as I have for the movie that I watched today. and much like high school, it took too goddamn long, and I didn't get anything out of it.
Oh man. Only that would be interesting, Rybius. I wouldn't want to be the one in charge of that.
You only have 6 years to stop 9/11.
But of course, before we get into the Karate Kid, we have a few other things to talk about today. And our first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at the weekend box office. Captain America 4, still in first place.
But didn't it suffer like a huge drop-off?
Yeah, pretty much everybody who wanted to see it went opening weekend. But
well, see, Harrison Ford is the Red Hulk.
The Monkey, the new movie based on the Stephen King story, second place. Paddington in Peru, third place. Dogman in fourth, and Heart Eyes in fifth place.
Stephen King Stephen King movies don't bring him in the way they used to, I don't think.
No, but I did see some parts of this movie, and yeah, they did not skimp on goriness at all.
Oh. Stephen King's The Monkey film. Is this who directed this? Osgood Perkins, whoever that is.
Yeah.
James Wan.
It has Adam Scott and Tatiana Maslany. I can't even say her last name.
What is it? What is it rated?
Maslany. R.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's better than The Boogeyman, at least. PG. What good is a PG-13 horror movie?
Because teenagers can go see it without adults. That's why Mithrigan did so well. And Mithrigan 2 is going to be awful this summer to deal with.
That's not why Mithrigan did well. Mithrigan did well because that doll looks like pedo bait.
Oh, speaking of, all right, I don't know if I can find this anywhere and bring this up. The new poster for it, I hate it. I hate it.
For Mithrigan 2?
Yes. Because it is very much going into the whole pedal bait thing, like you just said.
No.
Yeah, it is
even
not
worse than before.
It is not great. Let me do a screen share because I have to show everybody this because it is bad. It's literally just these legs in a skirt,
yuck.
and it says "Miss Me." That is gross. I hate that so much. Hate it. That is the worst poster for a child-based robot killer machine. It's
She's
bad.
A small wonder.
It's a very bad poster, and I'm not happy about it. Every time I get into the elevator to go upstairs at work, I have to see that poster because that's where it's at, and I don't like it.
Yes. No one wants sexy Mithrigan.
No.
In fact, that should be the title of the episode. No one wants sexy Mithrigan. I was looking at movies this year, and like the only one I don't even know what it is, and the only movie I really want to see is RiffTrax Live. Like none of this crap interests me.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, but we'll find out soon.
Yeah, that's right, because RiffTrax got onto, I think, it's either the Kickstarter feed or the Patreon feed. Maybe it was the Patreon feed. I don't know. And announced that, like, hey, March 3rd, it's a title drop.
I think they've now posted it like on all their social media because I saw it on Facebook too.
Okay. But yeah, March 3 title drop. It's like a boob drop, only titles.
Yeah, all they've said is that it is a 90s sci-fi cult classic.
You want to know what I think it is? I'm gonna put my money. I'm gonna plant my flag and put money on it. I have no confidence in it, but it's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be my official guess. I think it's gonna be Event Horizon.
Event Horizon could be a good one. I like Ravius's Johnny Mnemonic, and they would kind of just follow up from last year's. But I'm hoping, personally, that it's either I Come in Peace or Robot Jocks. I would love either.
I've never heard of either of those.
I Come in Peace was a movie with Dolph Lundgren, where he had to fight this alien
is it like
cyborg
zombie,
guy.
AKA I Eat Your Skin?
No. The dude, like the alien, I don't remember if he was like a cyborg or just an alien, but he like shot basically like saw blades out of this thing on his wrist at people.
Mega Man.
I don't know about Strange Days. That's there's some pretty rough stuff in that movie.
Well, I mean, okay, look, the reason I'm putting my money, I don't think it's Event Horizon. That's just my official guess. I don't have any confidence in this thing, but if like we're talking about famously bad movies and it's a 90s cult classic, you know, that fits the bill. I mean, you know, it's unless like the only other thing I could think of, and I don't think this is 90s, I think this is like 2003 or something, or maybe even earlier than that, but Jason X.
Yeah, that was after. That was in the 2000s.
Yeah, okay. But that's a good one. That's a good one that I think they should do.
Could be interesting. But we will be discussing this more in depth on March 3rd. Going to have a special live stream.
Yes.
Hopefully, Brandon Sanderson doesn't kill Kickstarter this time.
Sanderson?
Yeah, he launched his Kickstarter at the same time as RiffTrax. Not last year, but I think it was the year before, and it crashed Kickstarter while we were live talking about it.
Well, that sucks because he's not that great.
But we'll be live for a little while before the announcement, and we'll be talking about some possible movies that we think they could do. I went through a list of all the 90s sci-fi movies, and there's quite a lot of material for them to choose from.
And when we're live, we won't have to pretend like we were tipped off that there was going to be an announcement while we were on the air.
Yeah.
We don't have to pretend that this time.
No, because they already announced it. Speaking of other things that they already announced.
So we're not special anymore.
Yeah. They also announced the Riff that's coming out on March 7th.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, on March 7th, is it March 7th?
Yeah. I was at work and I didn't see this, so.
But they had a Zoom meeting about Birdemic 3. I think it's a VOD. Not sure. But I think it would have to be. But yeah, they did it. And fans of this podcast know that we have already discussed Birdemic 3 at length 2 years ago.
Yeah, with Brontosaurus Man.
Yeah, I was brought in, the Brontosaurus Man and Gwobu Wabu. But we, of course, will get it. And we won't do, because there really is not, because we really went through that movie with a fine butt comb.
Yeah.
And just like did everything about it. There's really nothing more you and I can say about the movie itself, but I think it would be a mistake if we didn't at least revisit it, do like a halvesy, like revisit, like watch the riff and come back and you know, hit the highlights, do the hits, and then talk about something else.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we'll have to do, because I don't think there's anything else we could really dig up about that movie. Yeah. So we kind of know what's coming in a couple weeks here. Excited to talk about the Kickstarter, but we do have to talk about Karate Kid here in a minute.
Okay.
Before that, it is of course time for Dave That Riff.
All right. I reminded you late.
Yes.
To remember about Dave That Riff.
And I rushed to get quotes. So tonight, your two movies to choose from. We've got RiffTrax Live, Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, God.
Or Night of the Lepus.
Okay.
The killer bunny movie that I was convinced I made up as a kid, because nobody else ever remembered it or ever heard of it. And then they released it on RiffTrax, and I was like, oh my God, the movie does exist.
It's one of those.
Yeah, I saw it on vacation on a rainy Saturday afternoon on like a local channel. It was the movie that they played in the middle of the day.
In Rock Springs, Wyoming.
All right, so your first one. Some of these are probably pretty easy.
Okay.
Oh, and I also have a bunch of pills, some blackberry brandy, a gun, and some dynamite that we can go play with.
No, I'm gonna say that's Night of the Lepus.
That is Night of the Lepus.
Okay.
1 for 1. Good job.
Dynamite gave it away.
Yeah. This is half quote, half riff.
Okay.
The television said it's the right thing to do, and Gilligan would never lie to us.
Oh man, that could be. I don't think they watch TV in Night of the Living Dead. So I'm gonna go with Night of the Lepus.
That is Night of the Living Dead.
What? Is there a TV in Night of the Living Dead?
Yes, there is.
Oh. Okay, well.
So you're 1 for 2.
1 for 2.
Let's see. What's the other one I want to do here? You asked for more people wordlessly squinting off camera before their predictable deaths, and we delivered. You're welcome, folks.
Wordlessly squinting off camera? How do we know they're squinting if they're off camera?
No, they were like turning and looking off camera.
Oh, okay. They're predictable deaths. So not everybody died in Night of the Lepus, but everybody did die in Night of the Living Dead. So I'm going to say it's Night of the Living Dead.
That is Night of the Lepus.
What? Ah! Getting my ass kicked. Okay, I gotta go. If I want to win, I gotta do perfect.
Yeah, you gotta win out here.
Yeah, I gotta knock them all out.
All right, here we go.
Hit me with it.
I guess the driver must have cut off the road and into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. Geez, why don't you just marry Beekman's Diner?
Okay, so there's a diner. I'm gonna say that's Night of the Living Dead.
That is Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
You got worried there for a second, didn't you?
I did, yes.
All right, this one, here we go. I don't know if this one will be easy or not. This is, again, this is 3 different lines.
Okay.
What, do they think we're just imagining all of this? First line. Shut up. Oh, they're playing the home game of Bill O'Reilly.
We'll do it live. Hit me with it again.
What do they think we're just imagining all this? Shut up. Oh, they're playing the home game of Bill O'Reilly.
I'm going to say that sounds like Night of the Lepus.
That is Night of the Living Dead.
Damn it!
And the last one. Newscasters spring into existence without warning.
Say again?
Newscasters spring into existence without warning.
That's Night of the Lepus. That's the very first riff.
Yes, you are correct. Well, you went 3 for 6.
Slaughter. No, it sucked. That's okay. That's okay. I've done worse.
Yeah.
I think the worst either of us have ever done is like 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that one that you got me really bad with not that long ago.
Well, I've gotten 2. I know that.
Yeah.
I think.
So, now we get to talk about the movie that I described it earlier as kind of a classic. Some people do consider it to be a classic movie. Dave is 100% not one of those people.
No, I'm really not. I was watching it today. I think was actually my first time watching the 1984 movie, The Karate is it The Karate Kid or Karate Kid?
The Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid all the way through. I think it's my first time ever actually sitting down and watching it, dedicated, start to finish. And I think this because I was watching it and I just realized that I don't really remember any of it like before the tournament. And also like it's really long. That's the one thing that struck me about it.
127 minutes.
Yeah, I looked at like the runtime on Netflix. It was like 2 hours. I'm like 2 hours. why does this movie need to be 2 hours? And it really does, like it's not engaging. It's not interesting. I have no nostalgia for this franchise. I do remember watching The Karate Kid Part 2 when they had those little things. They went to Japan.
The drum things.
And they had the little drum toys. And I remember liking that movie.
Yeah.
And then I watched Karate Kid Part 3 in like 2011 when they did the RiffTrax for it. And I haven't watched it since. I don't remember a thing about it other than Terry Silver being in his towel. Oh, I like that, Johnny. I'm going to use that. That's the only thing I remember about Karate Kid Part 3. Never saw the one with Hilary Swank, or isn't there one with Will Smith's kid?
Yeah, that was like a remake with Jackie Chan as the instructor, and he was teaching him kung fu. It wasn't.
Yeah.
But they called it the Karate Kid. Then they did Cobra Kai, and
I watched a little bit of that show on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but I think you have to be drinking the nostalgia juice to like really appreciate it. And I just don't have that. It's like nostalgia for high school. It's like nowhere here or here anymore. And so like going into this, I'm like, okay, 2 hours. Like I don't want to sit here and watch The Karate Kid for 2 hours. Why does it need to be this long?
Yeah, I was very shocked by that.
Yeah. So it starts off in like Newark, and I was like, I didn't know this movie took place in Newark, and it absolutely doesn't.
No, it's just them leaving Newark.
Yeah, them leaving Newark, and I shit you not, they like have this road trip for like 4 minutes before we even see Daniel's son's face.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite like early running jokes, was that they were staying far enough away from the camera to not see the characters for as long as possible.
So apparently he and his mom are moving to California, and I guess she's moving to California because she got a waitress job. There were no other jobs in between New Jersey and Southern California.
Right. There obviously has to be something more going on with that.
She's obviously running away from his father.
Yeah, that was my guess. But she does mention that when she tells Daniel that she's being trained as a manager, that she'll make more money doing that than she ever would in her career in computers.
Did she have a career in computers?
She mentions working in computers. So I don't know if like maybe that's why she went there and she got like fired immediately and had to go get like a job as a waitress, or
had a job as a waitress in California, far, far away.
Yeah.
Literally on the other side of not just the country, but the continent.
Yes.
From sea to shining sea. That's how far they went in these 4 minutes in this garbage car that is like this car is a symbol that they're poor.
Yeah. You remember the old like kitchen colors from the 70s and 60s, that kind of like gross green, like avocado sunset or something like that it was called?
I grew up in the 80s, of course I remember this.
That's the color of the station wagon. It's literally the exact same color as old 70s kitchen appliances.
Okay, so anyway, so they arrive at their new apartment, and you know it's a pile.
He immediately kicks a gate open into another kid's face.
Yeah, and they see a pool, and like there's something about like because we've been talking about pools and like gross bodies of water in RiffTrax recently, and it was just like the first is being like, oh, this apartment complex has a pool, and the pool is like not a pool.
It's like a
It's,
quarter full, and it's like
yeah.
gross green water.
And it has like a duck toy in it. And so they go into their apartment, and Daniel-san immediately breaks the sink. And she's like, go find the maintenance guy. And so they make this big deal about finding the maintenance guy. And it's Mr. Miyagi, who apparently is the maintenance guy there, but doesn't live there. And he's like, okay, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to fix the sink, whenever I feel like it. So Daniel-san finds some party or kids to hang out with.
The kid that he kicks the gate into, oh geez, he invites him to a beach party that night, or that day, that afternoon, whatever. And he goes, and that's when he meets Elizabeth Shue and has his first run-in with Willie Zabka.
Yeah. Okay, can I say something about Elizabeth Shue?
Sure.
Super quick. Well, first of all, I know which subplot could go and like nothing would change, and we could get this damn movie down to we get this damn movie down to 90 minutes, and it's this stupid love story with Elizabeth Shue. That's the first thing that I will say about that. The second thing, and more prominent thing, is boy, oh boy, did she age quite a bit between this movie and Back to the Future Part 2, because she looks like a kid, like a child in this movie. She looks legit 17. And in Back to the Future Part 2, when she's in the DeLorean with Doc and Marty, she looks like she's about 35. And that was in 1989, and this movie was in 1984. So, yeah.
I'm going to check how old she was when she made this, because Daniel LaRusso was 22 years old when they filmed this.
Yes, he has what modern doctors call Dave Chadwick syndrome. And that's a joke only if you've seen pictures of me in the Discord when I was in my early 30s. And Jeremy, back me up. I don't look like I'm in my early 30s in those pictures.
Nope. He looks like he's a lot younger.
So, I've battled babyface my whole life. Maybe not so much anymore, but even though people be like, oh, like writers at work will be like, so like, how old are you, man? Are you like 30? Like, no, I'm 44. Like, oh, you don't look like you're an old man.
She was 19 when they filmed Karate Kid, so.
Nice. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? That's an adult.
Yeah. They do worse nowadays when they have like 27-year-olds play teenagers in high school.
Yeah. No one told me this school was integrated.
But yeah, they totally could have cut that, especially since she's not around.
Yeah, she's not in any of the other movies after that. So she and Cobra Kai Man are in a fight on the beach, and Daniel-san goes up and like very stupidly tries to start a fight and just gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And this is a recurring theme. Like
for the first hour of the movie.
Yes. Like how many times Daniel-san just like gets beat the hell up. And this whole, so there's the Cobra Kai are like this gang of karate students who seems like their only purpose is to beat up Daniel-san.
Yep.
And I don't know why. And their instructor is very invested in his students beating up Daniel-san, like all of them, like he has a whole formation of them. And let me tell you something. this karate dojo, like, these kids must be like really rich. He must be charging a lot because this is an elite dojo.
Yeah.
Because like in reality, like someone who owns like something like that, they would just barely be scraping by.
Well,
If this was
Johnny,
yeah.
Johnny has good favor with Elizabeth Shue's parents in the movie, so he's got to be part of that same community.
Oh, that's right. Yes, because one of the themes of the movie is rich people and poor people.
Yeah.
And whether it's okay for a rich girl to date a poor white trash a-hole like Danielson from Newark. But anyway, so Allie with an I is what they call her, Elizabeth Shue. Gets a little crush on Danielson. Like she's really into guys who get their butts kicked multiple times by multiple men. She's way into that. That's her thing.
It's like she feels bad for him, but it's kind of hot.
Yeah. So they meet at school, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Elizabeth Shue, and these are my breasts, and these are my legs. How you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, hi, how you doing? That's my Danielson impression for the first hour of this. So she's way into him, and all the Cobra Kai want to beat him up.
Until Halloween.
Yes. So he wants, like, he's learning karate from a book, and Mr. Miyagi shows up like, "Okay, I'm here to fix the sink now." And he's like, "Oh, you like karate?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess it's kind of stupid, but you know, I'm learning." And so he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna train you." And he's like, "I don't know about all this." So he goes to a dance, and he's dressed as a shower curtain.
Yep.
Which I don't get.
Because,
and
he wanted to go. He didn't want to go because he didn't want to get beat up. He wanted to go because the girl was going to be there. But he's like, nah, only if I could go as the Invisible Man so no one could see me. And while he's talking about that, on the wall behind him is the hoop and the shower curtain that Mr. Miyagi turns into a costume for him to wear to the dance.
Yeah.
At the school.
And
so he's kind of incognitus.
It's a very, very stupid costume. And but he does kind of earn his ass beating in this one because he picks a fight with the Cobra Kai leader.
Yeah, he puts a hose in the bathroom stall while Johnny's in there rolling joints for everybody. And he kind of gets them all wet.
He had the girl. He could have just, hung out with her, which was the reason he was there. But instead, he takes like this hose, a bathroom hose. We all had those.
It's
in our eyes.
It's like a mop sink or something that he uses.
Yeah. So anyway, and he basically just, and I don't know how he did this undetected. He basically drenches the Cobra Kai leader and runs away, and the Cobra Kai leader starts to be like, "Okay, let's go get him."
And Spider-Man is there, and he doesn't even try to stop him.
Yeah, Spider-Man, Miles Morales didn't do a damn thing. But what do you want, bud? I'm doing a podcast. So they chase him out of the dance and into like some industrial area, and they start kicking his ass. And Mr. Miyagi shows up
like a ninja.
And it's just like, and he just lays waste to the gang. And
then they go to the dojo the next day.
The next day, and he's like, "Okay." Their instructor is like, "What are you doing? Beating up all my hot young trainees, and he's like, I challenge you to a duel at the local tournament, but none of your guys can touch my guy until then. And he's like, all right, okay, we're gonna do it. You're on, old man. But I forget what the conditions are. But oh yeah, it'll be open season on him.
Yeah.
But so he's
Afterward, yeah.
very invested in Cobra Kai beating up this one dude, and I still don't get it. So he's able to hang out with Elizabeth Shue at school, but he doesn't hang out at school for very long.
Yeah.
Because anything that has to do with like schoolwork or his relationship with his mom or Mr. Miyagi's job at the apartment complex, we never hear about any of that again. Instead, it's all about hanging out at Mr. Miyagi's house doing the wax on, wax off stuff. So he's there for like 4 days. This is a garbage way to train somebody, by the way, everybody. I just gotta say, he's like, okay, so I want you to wax all of my classic cars, wax on, wax off, do it specifically this way. Okay, so he waxes all his cars. I think he sands like a floor.
Yeah, he does like an entire deck outside.
Yeah, and he paints a house and like a couple other things.
The fence. The
Yeah, the
fence he has
fence,
to do
yeah.
up and down, and the house he has to do
Yeah.
left and right.
So the gimmick is that he's teaching him like to be like a smooth movement man and be like, this is how you do karate.
Like,
And
he's trying to get like muscle memory built into him or something.
yeah, which is a dumb way to do that. Like, you can't don't trick people. If you want them to do like, okay, so basically the wax on, wax off thing, which I think is what a lot of people remember. Like, that's like the one thing that I knew about the Karate Kid was wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
So I think that's like that, and like, you know, that's like part of like the Mr. Miyagi lore.
Yeah.
We
we also learned more about the Mr. Miyagi lore.
We're gonna get to that, by the
where
way.
he's like drunk.
If you think he goes full Quint from Jaws in this, and if you think Pentagon Girl in Demons of Ludlow was bad, wait until you hear more about Mr. Miyagi's backstory. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So
He also celebrates Daniel's birthday during this training time as well.
And so,
He gives him a car.
Daniel-san gets all pissy, and it's be like, you promised to teach me, and all I've been doing is like doing your chores, and I'm done. And so he's like, no, I've tricked you into learning how to block correctly. Hapa. And I'm just like, well, why didn't you just teach him that? Like if you wanted to teach him like this movement, like that's how you block. That's how you block. It would have been far more effective to just say that. Like, I'm going to punch you and you come up like that. Done.
And then he's like, oh, he's been teaching me karate the whole time.
So the whole time, these last 4 days, and he got a lot of child labor out of it.
And they go to the beach.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so what was the point of him getting his ass kicked by the ocean? Was Mr. Miyagi?
He was supposed to be learning balance.
Was it balance, or was it like, okay, you're fighting the ocean, so fighting a bunch of Cobra Kai isn't good? Like now that you fought the ocean, fighting a bunch of Cobra Kai is not going to be a problem.
Now that you have defeated the ocean,
yeah,
you can now defeat Johnny.
I think that kind of makes sense.
We also get the quick little scene with the two drunk guys who are being super racist, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna put our beer bottles on your truck here," and he like chops through the top of the bottles.
Hot ball.
And they're like, oh, okay, we'll go. And he's just like, wow, how'd you do that, Mr. Miyagi? And he's like, I don't know. This was my first time.
First time I ever do it. Ha, ha, ha. But so the date, like they go there's a date that Daniel's son and Elizabeth Shue go on, and it's dumb, and they have a fight. But they make up, and like that's really all we need to say more about that plot. Because she doesn't show up in any of the other movies after it. It's a complete waste of everybody's time.
Yep.
So like we're getting ready to go to the tournament, and Mr. Miyagi gets dressed up in his World War II uniform and gets drunk and goes full Quint. And Daniel-san comes over, and they have like a little bonding moment. And Mr. Miyagi goes and passes. He's like looking at like pictures of like his wife, and he has like all of the important lore in the form of newspapers and like letters from an internment camp from World War II about so this is his backstory. While Mr. Miyagi was off fighting nobly and valiantly on behalf of the United States in World War II, his Japanese wife and his pregnant Japanese wife dies in childbirth in an internment camp in California. And that's his tragic backstory.
It got real dark real quick.
Yeah, it's like, my God. And so I guess he sees Daniel's son as like his kid and like a fulfillment of what his dead son could have been, and like that's why he's training him. I don't know. It's not super clear. But
the studio wanted to cut that scene, but they
should have, because
the director
I hate it.
The director argued for it, and he believes that that's the scene in the movie that got Pat Morita nominated for that Oscar.
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, it would have done him a lot better if he would have won it. But
it's true.
And Pat Morita was 52 in this. Man, we are coming up on the Mr. Miyagi age super fast. That's what I took away from this, and I'm just like, oh my God. But anyway, so
he's been dead for a lot longer than I thought it was too.
I think he died in like what, 2005?
2005, yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah, he was like 80. He was old. I think.
He was 73 when he died.
Oh, well, I was completely wrong.
Kidney failure.
Yeah. Well, he was an alcoholic, but, he gave us wax on, wax off, and for that we are eternally grateful. So they go to the tournament, and it's literally like the least interesting thing. We have this weird progression, because it seems like all Daniel-san does in the tournament is fight Cobra Kai.
Yeah, there's like the first guy he fights wasn't. But then he went through quite a few of the members of that dojo by himself.
Yeah. So here's my question. So like, is every member of that dojo in the tournament? And if so, are they fighting each other? Is Cobra Kai fighting each other in the tournament? They would have to.
They
make up like half of the tournament.
He probably the teacher probably bribed them to get them in an order where they wouldn't face off as often, like as little as they could, up until they got to the semifinals and stuff, when there was only two members of Cobra Kai left.
Okay, yeah, there's only two members of Cobra Kai left, and they shouldn't be allowed to do this. Like this whole this setup that they had, where like so the members of Cobra Kai start to go through like this face turn where they like, start to realize that like maybe we're the jerks.
Yeah.
But and the bad guy who like their instructor really hasn't been around that much in the movie. It's really just been more about the gang beating up Daniel's son. But in the tournament, it becomes like, okay, it's like this evil sensei is like the real villain. And they're like, and for some reason they have a change of heart against Daniel in the tournament.
I don't think it happens until he tells the one guy to take him out.
Just kick his ass. Yeah, take him out.
Injure him.
You'll get okay. So that guy will take him out. He'll get disqualified. But if Daniel can't continue, and they even say this on the announcement, like then Cobra Kai wins automatically.
Yeah, Johnny just wins by default.
Yeah, by default. Like that's stupid. Like that's a dumb rule to have. So one of the guy that goes just kicks Danielson's ass.
He just kicks him right in the knee. Like,
yeah. And he's
and
like,
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. It's like, why are you sorry? Like, I thought you were all part of like this Cobra Kai skeleton cult, you know. But now you guys suddenly like Daniel. So Danielson, they go back and be like, okay, well, you can't fight. I'll go tell them that you've lost, that you forfeited. And Elizabeth Shue is disappointed, and it's just being like, that's okay. You can still do me after this.
And then he has Mr. Miyagi do his little hand thing.
Yeah. Like, that's his magic. His Japanese magic. He's a Japanese magic man.
Which he does through all of the other movies.
Yeah. So he goes out, and they have their little match. Their little tournament finals match, and I don't get. Okay, so there's something that I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand karate. Like all of my like tournament fighting experience comes from fighting games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. So fill me in if I'm missing something. But the sensei goes to Johnny and says, very ominously, sweep the leg. And Johnny's like, I can't believe you'd ask me to do that. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, sweep the leg. What?
Because it's like his weakness. He's already injured there. So if you
wouldn't you want to do that? Like, why is that controversial?
I think he just felt like it was fighting dirty and he didn't want to.
He didn't want to. He's been trying to murder him the entire movie.
I don't know. Maybe he's finally starting to realize that, oh, hey, this kid's not so bad.
A jerk.
But he does end up losing after the infamous crane kick when done right in unkin defense. And then Johnny grabs the trophy from the guy.
Yeah, and it's like, you're dead, your son. I love you.
He's like, here, man, you're all right, man.
It's like, I love you now. It's like, this is weird. And then the movie's over.
Yeah, it shows Pat Morita smiling and freeze frame in the end.
It's very much like we don't get a denouement. We don't get like, him and Miyagi and Elizabeth Shue and his mom like walking off into like the sunset or anything. And that's why I think the second movie is better.
Here's what's interesting though. The scene from the beginning of the second movie was originally meant to be the final scene of the first movie.
Okay.
Where with the whole thing right after the tournament. But instead they, cut that out and then they were using it for the second movie to tie it back to the first one. I see what you said there.
What?
Rivius, about the crane kick being an illegal move in the tournament. I gotta see if I can find it because I just Saw
Well,
something
Chat
earlier
GPT, if that's true. I mean,
about
not that I don't trust you, Ryvius.
how it apparently wasn't.
Okay. You're a personal researcher. Use ChatGPT to blah, 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 blah. In the movie Karate Kid, is the crane move used to win the tourney technically illegal? Question mark. And this is what it says. In the Karate Kid 1984, Daniel LaRusso wins the All Valley Karate Tournament with the famous crane kick against Johnny Lawrence. The legality of this move is debated among the fans. And then it goes on, is the crane kick illegal? Head contact rules, jump kick and face strikes, Johnny's actions, referee's decisions. I'm not going to read all this.
Here, I'll give you a more succinct explanation.
Okay,
here
because it just gave me
like,
something that will take me 3 minutes to read.
Okay, so in Cobra Kai, Johnny tells Daniel that the kick wasn't legal. But
you haven't recontextualized any of this in the last 30 years?
No.
Are you still hung up on this?
It just says,
Johnny?
here's the quote when Allie is explaining the rules to Daniel. Everything above the waist is a point. You can hit the head, sternum, kidneys, ribs. Throughout the preliminary matches in Karate Kid, several clean points are shown by kicks to the face, reflecting the reality that kicks to the face were, in fact, legal techniques. It's not explicitly stated that while kicks to the face of a standing opponent are legal, face punches weren't legal.
I'm so bored.
So there you go. Apparently, it was legal.
All right. I mean, put him in a body bag. Did he say that?
Huh?
Did he say that? Put him in a body bag?
Yeah, that's what their sensei was telling him.
Oh, well, he's a psychopath.
Well, he was ex-Special Forces.
Oh, was he? Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't remember the picture that they zoomed into?
No.
He was like a Green Beret.
Like, all right, look, this guy's I think that, like, a lot of, like, these people, like, these adults are, like, way too invested in, like, this, what is essentially a child's karate tournament.
It was literally Rocky. Like, they said they wanted them to make a Rocky style movie, but with karate and a teenager.
Oh, wow.
So it was literally Rocky.
Anyway, but I have no nostalgia for this movie. Like, none. I think the second one is better because I saw that as a child. And I just remember them, like, you know, like, I think the build was a lot better. They focused on the karate a lot more. And it's just, like, the stuff that, like, I would be interested in if I was, like, watching a karate movie.
Yeah.
And they had that cool thing at the end where, like, the whole everyone in Japan was using those
the drum toys.
Yeah, those toys, yeah.
Just a little point of note here. They used that sound from that one of those drum things in the trailer for the new one that crosses over the Jackie Chan movie and the mainline Karate Kid things. And when I heard that is what made me excited more than the actual movie itself, because I, like you said, the second one, I liked the second one a lot more too. And the whole drum thing was one of the, because it was to teach him, like, the drum punches or something.
Yeah. So in this new one, I guess Hilary Swank can just go to hell. You know, they saw
maybe she has a surprise cameo. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they'll be like, hey, your rep is, like, down in the toilet. You got killed by a chair in $1 Million Baby. Okay.
Or maybe they're just like, let's just forget that this movie even happened in the first place.
I never saw it.
I'm pretty sure I did back when it first came out.
Well, of course
I don't remember anything about it at all. Other than the fact that it was Hilary Swank and Pat Morita.
And Mr. Miyagi.
And I think there was like some other old guys in there too.
Citizen R says her version was the only one I was interested in. Well, interesting. Cool.
But
I don't like this movie. It was too long. It was not interesting.
yeah, it could have stood to have been at least 30 minutes shorter.
Yeah, you don't have to get rid of all the Elizabeth Shue stuff, but I think that's like I think a lot of the stuff like in the school could go. A lot of just like their whole fight where they like clearly she digs him.
Yeah, that was after he went to meet her at the country club. And she was dancing with Johnny.
Embarrassed and he ran away.
And Johnny kissed her, and he like ran into a waiter and spilled spaghetti all over himself or something, and took off running. And then she like punched him. And
we didn't need all that.
No,
I mean you can keep Elizabeth Shue in it, but just have her be like supportive girlfriend. Meh. You could have got rid of a lot of like well, that's a poor young boy, and I don't want you seeing him, young lady. All the stuff like with the mom and Daniel's son being like, I hate it here. I'm gonna throw my bike in a dumpster. I want to go back to live in poverty in Newark. Could have got rid of that.
stupid bike.
You stupid bike, I hate you. I hate you. It's like, Daniel, why did you throw your bike away? I just felt like it, Mom, okay? God. I'm going to go watch Pooh Corner and masturbate. I don't know why I said that. So anyway, the riff was good. Like always,
was very good. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in there. I like the joke when he's walking on the beach to get into the ocean, and they're like, "Would it be too much to ask for him to run into Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze?" And they just have a really fun time.
Yeah, they just have a really fun time. And, like, hey man, you can have my girlfriend, and I'm gonna go kill myself now. Instead of you being the worst FBI agent ever. Mike L. Esquire. Yes, the old lady by the pool. No payoff. Yes, that's absolutely true. She didn't need to be there.
Nope, not at all.
Never saw her again.
That was just another one of those. Let's just throw something in here to eat up a couple more minutes. That we didn't need to kill. Yeah.
Like I said, like I can't get into Cobra Kai as much. Like it's a good show. I don't have anything against it, but I don't have the nostalgia juice for the Karate Kid franchise that's required to fully enjoy it. So I think I've only seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes.
I have not watched any of it.
Well, it ends this year, so, start binge watching. Otherwise, how dare you?
I don't have Netflix, and I don't feel like watching it the other way. So
you said we weren't going to be able to fill a whole episode talking about this, and I said I think we could, and I was correct.
I was proven wrong.
Yeah.
But on that note, let's end the episode here.
Yes.
If you enjoyed the episode,
slam it right into a tree.
Yes. Just the way the movie ended, just suddenly and abruptly. If you like the podcast and you want to support us in any way, the best way for you to do so is to follow us on Twitch here, or you can follow us on any of the podcast platforms, whatever one you listen to us on. Or you can even go to patreon.com/TrueBlueRiffCast and drop us a couple dollars a month if you want. We would be super grateful. But yeah, that's it. You can find the podcast on a bunch of different platforms, and I'm pretty much everywhere too. under PB and Awesome.
And you can check me out on X, formerly known as Twatter, at D Chadwick Author. Go to Amazon and Audible and search my name and buy all my things. Spaghetti and Meatballs is probably going to be complete sooner rather than later. And I'm like 98% sure that I'm going to get the narrator that I want for Nostalgia Inc. She just has to finish reading the book. I've worked with this person before. And I think she's going to do it because she would just ghost me if she wasn't going to do it. And she sent me a message today. So,
all right, guys, we will.
I'm not going to say who it is, but you know,
well, considering that you said you worked with them before, and there's really only two choices there, so probably easy to narrow it down.
Yeah, narrow it down. It's. I love Colette, but it's not her.
All right. Well, there you go. On that note, we will see you guys next time right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.
Rock till you die.